Annyeong Chingbode. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and I'm back to do another reaction of one of my favorite artists on my channel, So Hyang, and I'm excited to see her perform again. She is just amazing and just one of the best female vocalists on the planet, and just sings with her whole heart and is such an awesome person, with all that she's overcome and the goal that she has to, inspire the people that she's able to sing for and lift their spirits and use her gift for all the things that God wants her to do. It's just really inspiring, and I just have the deepest regard and admiration for her as a person and as an artist. So with that, the song I'm going to be reacting to is one that many of you have recommended in your comments, and it's her Hug Me performance. And my understanding on this is that she actually won the King Mask singer competition, and the performance I found that I'm going to be reacting to today is her performance of Hug Me at the DMC Festival in 2018. My understanding is that this festival, I believe it happened in Seoul, and it's a coming together of all of these prominent artists from like the K-pop scene and from kind of some of the different popular artists in Korea, in Asia, all getting an opportunity to perform. And I think she's been asked, of course, as the winner of the Masked Singer. So that's the performance that I'm going to be reacting to. And I really had a challenge trying to find lyrics and information about the song. So hopefully the one I found, which was directly tied to this, to So Hyang's version of Hug Me, because it looks like there's several different versions of this song sang by various artists, including some Asian and then some American as well. So the lyrics that I'm going to be reading through now are the ones that I found that were tied to So Hyang's performance, and so hopefully these are accurate and correct. Before I get into that, for those of you that are not interested in the lyrics and you want to skip this section, if you just go to the actual YouTube video, I set up sections or chapters within each of my YouTube videos so that those who are not interested can easily just skip forward to the next chapter and go directly to my reaction. So if that's you, you don't really care to go through the lyrics with me on this, go ahead and just skip ahead. I try to provide that for those that are not interested in this part of my reaction. For those of you that are, so the lyrics that I found are, I can't beat my sad heart. Again, I'm enduring the dark and sleepless nights without regard for my despair. The morning indifferently wakes me. The wound burns more than expected. The hurt goes deeper than expected. The countless nights of resenting you are like hell to me. Please stay at my side. Please stay with me. Please don't let go of the me who is holding your hand. If you go one step further away like this, I can just take one more step and that's enough. The thousands of times in one day that I repeat and think of your appearance, the unforgiving words that you said to me, that icy gaze and those cold expressions. You were an incredibly pretty person. You were an incredibly pretty person. Please don't be like this to me. You know me well. Oh girl, the words that you said so lightly at that time made it so light, our relationship. I didn't know that being used to it would be scarier than anything. I didn't know your heart up until we ultimately said a goodbye full of regret. As the days pass, it gets bigger, the empty space you left. Even if we give water to our flower bed that used to be so beautiful, the full blooms have all become nothing but memories. Only the scent of loneliness gushes forth. If I could see you again, I want to show you everything I have, my heart that's beating to hold you tight. I want to convey it all to you, I for real, until you hold this sincerity in your embrace once again. Just hold me a little. Don't say anything, and please just run to me. With a heart that's nothing but lonely and anxious, hug me, hug me. I'm waiting for you like this. I love you, I love you. In the long silence, a sound comes, screaming from my foolish and weak heart. So I'm trying to understand from the lyrics here whether this is talking about a loved one that's passed on, that's no longer around, and so they're longing for them, and they have deep regrets because of some of the bad times that they had, and the coldness that existed after having such a warm relationship in the beginning, maybe. It's either that, or it's a situation where this person their love is still alive, and they just are missing them, and they want them back, and they want to try again. And but the fact that it's calling up the full blooms have all become nothing but memories. That sounds to me like this person is gone, because all they have left of this person is the memories of them. Like there's no getting them back. Like there's no chance of them like walking through the door, being there, being able to hug them, all of that. So that's the direction I'm leaning, is that this is someone that has passed on, that has died, and this is a song about remembering them and wanting to hold them again, and having this deep love for them, and regretting some of the cold words that maybe they had for each other, or moments in their relationship when they had each other. So that's my take just from what I'm reading here and kind of the wording that's used. And if you could put down in the comments your take and your understanding of the lyrics, I'm sure it'll become more evident as I listen to the performance. More of what it is and the context for the lyrics, right? That always helps to hear the performer's interpretation and the way they present it. So with that, I will move forward to the reaction. So for those of you that are new to my channel or that haven't at this point, if you could please support the channel by clicking on the subscribe and click on that little notifications bell there. I would appreciate that. I'm trying to do more reactions. I did another reaction that got blocked, and I'm trying to get it unblocked. And so I'm doing this other one now so that I can post it and hopefully not have to deal with any copyright issues with this one. This is something that we as reactors just deal with, right? We have to kind of try to wrestle with it and do our best to post the content that we like for all of you. So put, again, your recommendations and suggestions for other So Hyang songs that you would like for me to react to. I was just looking through my content and noticed that my So Hyang reactions is not among the top number of reactions on my channel, and I thought, well, it should be, because she's definitely in the top tier of the artists that I love on my channel. So I felt like I needed to do another one here, and I also just, the thing about doing these reactions is I don't listen to So Hyang's songs, right? I'm not watching or listening to any of the songs other than the ones that I've reacted to. So if I want to be able to listen to more of her songs, I need to react to more of her performances. So with that, I'll jump right in here. And I have the subtitles turned on. I'm not sure how much of that I'll need here, but I always kind of turn that on just in case, so make sure I've got English subtitles coming up. Look at this crowd. It's a huge crowd.
서러운 맘을 못 이겨 잠 못 들던 어두운 밤을 또 견디고 내 절망과 상관없이 무심하게도 아침은 날 깨우네.
I think this is only the second song that I've reacted to for So Hyang where she was actually sitting. I think Never Enough is the only. Oh, no, Misty. I think she was sitting for Misty as well, I think. I've talked about this before, though, because a lot of you comment on it with Morissette, with her songs from the bus and so forth, where she's sitting for her songs. It's harder as a vocalist to support and to, get the sound and the kind of power that you need from a sitting position. So, and you can see from how she's sitting there, because being a part of like mini choirs and things like that, where a lot of times you are sitting, especially when you're rehearsing and stuff like that. A lot of times, like when I was in the college choir with my wife, this 40 voice a cappella choir, we sat in kind of an auditorium type setting, and it has those fold down seats. And so what we would typically do actually is we would leave the seat up in the up position, and then we would sit on the top of the seat in the up position, and that way it forced us to kind of really keep our posture straight. But you can tell looking at her posture there, she's got really good posture. Her feet are planted and her back is straight. Those are things that are important if you're going to be singing and being able to get that good sound quality and support. You can tell though, like this, all of her performances, she's in the song, she's contemplating the words, she's telling the story, she's feeling it in her heart. It's all very genuine and heartfelt, and she's thought through every aspect of that particular song, like a seasoned author that has thought through different stages of the story, the different acts, or different stages of development as it builds out. So, in it, I guess that makes sense with her because she is an author, that she would approach it that way. Anyway, I'm gonna go back a little bit here and make sure I don't miss anything. Very soft. I think she's talking about grief. I'm always curious with artists when they're singing something like this that's just so deep and heartfelt and has to do with things like this where you're losing someone, whether that's through losing that relationship or losing them due to death or whatever that is. What place they go to to feel that and to allow that to really hit with them. What experience are they calling up? Because, I've done some acting, I think I mentioned in some of my reactions. I've been in a lot of different shows throughout, all the way growing up, elementary, junior high, high school, college, and then some in um, my adult life as well. And so anytime you're trying to channel or portray something from a character through that experience as an actor or a performance, uh, you're always told to kind of, make it real, bring something up that you can relate to in that song or that performance or that life that you're portraying. So I'm wondering what that is for her on this. All of us have lost loved ones, so or have had some type of challenges with our relationships and things like that. So I'm sure there's something like that. But you can see, like, look at her how she's kind of holding her arm like this, when she's got the microphone. Uh, so she's really feeling it. This is beautiful. There's that cry in her voice.
하루에도 수천 번씩 네 모습을 되뇌이고 생각했어. 내게 했던 모진 말들, 그 싸늘한 눈빛, 차가운 표정들. 넌 참 예쁜 사람이었잖아. 넌 참 예쁜 사람이었잖아. 제발 내게 이러지 말아줘. 날 잘 알잖아.
This is a different style of song for her from a lot of the others that I've reacted to. But we still got another 2.5 minutes, I think, left in the song. So it could just be kind of building into more of, like, where the typical kind of So Hyang power that she brings with a lot of her performances, and that kind of climactic belting. I don't even like to call it belting with her, because it doesn't even sound like belting with So Hyang, because it's effortless and it doesn't have that kind of grating. Some of the belting that I've heard, like on Broadway and different things, I don't really like to listen to it because it's just so sharp and edgy and just kind of cuts through, and it's not as pleasant to the ear. But I've never felt any of that with any of the belting that she does. So let's continue here.
내 곁에 있어줘. 내게 머물러줘. 네 손을 잡은 날 놓치지 말아줘. 이렇게 네가 한 걸음 멀어지면 내가 한 걸음 더 가면 되잖아. 내겐 내가 없어. 난 자신이 없어. 네가 없는 하루 견딜 수가 없어. 이젠 뭘 어떻게 해야 할지 모르겠어. 네가
Oh. Oh, wow. That's the thing, and it hit me when I did my first reaction to So Hyang of Arirang alone, where you think the song's going along, and it's got these flowing lines and phrases with this softer part of her voice. Um, she can just switch it up uh, and take it into the upper register and really just sing out. But it never appears to be something where she's doing it just to kind of show off. Oh, hey, by the way, I can I can go super high and do these riffs and runs and all this impressive stuff. She never does it for the sake of those things, right? Just to show up. It's always part of bringing across the feeling of the song and the message behind the words. It's all part of that, right? So I'm going to go back and listen to that again here. She just went for it. And look, she's just super open, incredible control, breath control. And I think she stood up. Nope, she didn't. Okay, she's still sitting. Wow, that's high. Ooh. Oh. Wow. She is just like a lot of the other artists that I love, like Lara Fabian, Diana and Dineva, these other artists, Angelina Jordan, that pretty much all the artists on my channel, actually, Morissette, they all immerse themselves in the song. They are consummate artists and performers and storytellers, right? And I love that. Those are the types of performances I love. Look at her. Look at her body expression right now as to where she's at. She is totally feeling this and singing it with her whole heart. Look at the words. It may seem weak and childish, but it's my true feelings, right? This is powerful. Go back just a little bit here. I love you, I love you. Please just hug me. Wow. That's another thing I love about her is that she does that a lot where she is not so concerned about how those notes come out, where all of the notes come out perfectly with vibrato and support and in a musical phrase and all of that, because ultimately she's telling a story. She's communicating feeling and the personal nature of the words. So it's okay to, at the very end there, when she's saying, please just hug me, where she just kind of barely gets those notes out. And in that plea at the end there, it brings more power, it's more personal. And it's important as a performer to do that, to allow that to come through. And it's a challenge sometimes to do that, because if you allow that emotion to get too strong and you allow yourself to think too much about whatever it is that is allowing you to sing that song with the emotion, then it can overtake you. And then you're in trouble, because then you get emotional, and then it's harder to sing the notes, and you start crying, and then it's just it's not good to let it go that far. So one of my experiences I had with this that I think I may have shared before is when I was playing Inspector Javert in Les Miserables. And it was for the suicide scene and Javert's suicide. And I was trying to really think about and put myself in this person's shoes, and as to where they're at and kind of where they've given up hope, and they don't understand the purpose of their existence anymore, and all of that, and trying to really feel those emotions. And it's toward the end there where Javert is singing, and then he jumps off falls off the platform. And so as I was kind of singing one of those last phrases there, my voice kind of cracked a little bit with the emotion on one of the words that I sang. And it was a neat experience to kind of have that come through like that, because it was enough to kind of say, this is something that, especially for Javert, because he's not like an emotional type, he doesn't allow those things to step forward. So I was trying to kind of bring the balance of that. But the reason I bring that up is because it's important to convey that feeling of the song, the story, the character, whatever those things are, when you're performing to an audience. And So Hyang is just amazing at that, at really feeling it deeply in her heart, and being able to immerse herself in that and allow her incredible voice to bring the power of that message through. So wonderful song, touching, and she's just amazing. She could sing anything, and I would just love it and be able to listen to it over and over again. And she's just one of those singers that I just love. So yeah, this was awesome. And again, I hope this was a good representation of her performance. There was the Masked Singer performance that I could have reacted to, but she had the mask on. And as you've probably learned from my reactions, I love to be able to see the performer's face and their expressions, and have that feeling come through. And also vocally, if they're completely hidden here, then I can't see anything that's going on to do any vocal analysis of what they're doing if they have a mask on, right? So hopefully, like I said, this was a good representation of her performance on that Masked Singer show. So I'll go ahead and close this one off here. And as I said before, if you could put your suggestions down in the comments of any other So Hyang performances that you want me to react to, I would appreciate that. And as I do with all of my reactions, I'm going to close by saying that each of you out there needs to know that you are loved, you are special, and you can accomplish your dreams, and you can be happy. And hopefully you don't feel alone in the world that you live in. You have others around you that can help you to feel happy and special. and loved. And I hope that you can gain some of that from my channel. I've mentioned this person before, but Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which was a children's education show that was on TV for 30 years, at least 30 years, I think. He was inspiring because, and part of that was he was very genuine. You know, he did all these things for individual people. So there was a girl that watched his show, and the mother tells a story about her where she had some kind of medical condition. I think it was like a brain tumor or something going on that was very serious. And so she was undergoing this surgery and was in the hospital, and Mr. Rogers shows up at the hospital for this little girl and brought his puppets there and did a little puppet show for her and cheered her up and encouraged her. And he did not want any press or media there because he wasn't doing it to show, you know, how awesome he was and that he did these types of things. He was doing it for this little girl. You know, that was his way of reaching out and helping her. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to accomplish in some small way with my channel, is provide a place where music can lift us and we can come together and be friends with each other and be lifted and have some sort of hope and fulfillment and inspiration through the music and through coming together. So I hope that in some small way you're getting that from my channel. And like I said before, I'm trying to do more reactions and be more active and trying to do more good through the reactions that I post and the things I have to say. So thank you all for your support, and take care.